जय श्री चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम। तो आम प्रभुपादंकर लाइफ स्टोरी पढ़ुचे। प्रभुपाद द मेसेंजर ऑफ द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड रु हम पढ़िले जे प्रभुपाद जो रही योगा स्टूडियो रे प्रथम थिले सहित सांग राममूर्ति मिश्र सहित तापर सेठू राममूर्ति स्टूडियो को पठेदेला जो गोटे रूम थिला सेठी प्रभुपाद चोरी हो जाए सब जिनस से जे क्लीनिंग जे करछि से ही चोरी करदे। तापर बॉब बॉब को हार्वे कोहेन आ बिल एप्स्टीन एमाने हला प्रभुपाद चाहिए जे आ गोटे जगह को शिफ्ट कर दे। So as he was preparing to leave his 72nd Street address, an acquaintance, an electrician. हाँ नहीं कुछ तो गोटे भल प्रपोजल मिलला। हार्वे वाज गोइंग टू लीव हार्वे कोहेन ये हला से जगह छाड़िया जाउथला न्यूयॉर्क एंड गो टू कैलिफोर्निया एंड ऑफर्ड हिज लॉफ्ट ऑन द बाउरी फॉर द स्वामी टू शेयर विथ डेविड। तो सी बाउरी रे जो रहउथला डेविड सहित से कहला स्वामी आपण डेविड सहित शेयर कर दियो। तो भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी से एक्सेप्ट करथिले। As he was preparing to leave his 72nd Street address, an acquaintance, an electrician who worked in the building, came to warn him. जने आसी जने इलेक्ट्रिशियन कहला जानतुनी सेठी की जानतुनी। The Bowery was no place for a gentleman, he protested. से कहला जम्मा जानतुनी सेटा ओडे भद्र व्यक्ति को स्थान नहीं। It was the most corrupt place in the world. Swami's things had been stolen from room number 2307, but moving to Bowery was not the answer. तो कहले जहार स्वामी जी को जहार चोरी है जिनस पूर्व जगार तो बाउरी गले जे भल शांत शिष्ट हम एमती नुह। भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी हावर वाज अनडॉन्टेड किंतु भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी को किछ फरक पड़ला से पळे गले। भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी lived on the Bowery sitting under a small light while hundreds of derelicts also sat under hundreds of naked lights and stars on the same city block. He had no more fixed income than the derelicts, nor any great security or a fixed residence. Yet his consciousness was different. Prabhupada is so advanced. As he was translating Srimad Bhagavatam into English, speaking to the world through his Bhaktivedanta purports. His duty, whether on the 14th floor of a Riverside Drive apartment building or in a corner of an Bowery loft, was to establish Krishna consciousness as the prime necessity for all humanity. तो जोटी भी रहंतु प्रभुपाद किंतु माने चेतना बहुत उन्नत ताम किछि फरक पड़नथला से सेही भली कृष्ण चेतनार प्रचार करथिले बही ट्रांसलेट करछथि। He went on with his translating and with his constant vision of a Krishna temple in New York City. Prabhupada चाहते कि जल्दी हमें उठे कृष्ण मंदिर करिया New York. Because his consciousness was absorbed in Krishna's universal mission. He did not depend on his surroundings for shelter or home. For him was not a matter of bricks and wood, but of taking shelter of Krishna in every circumstance. प्रभु सबले कृष्ण पाखे शरणागत थिले आमे एटा बुझि परबानी कारण हम पे एटा पॉसिबल होनी। As Bhaktivedanta Swami had said to his friends uptown, everywhere is my home. Bhaktivedanta Swami देखो कितने हाई चेतना everywhere is my home. Whereas without Krishna's shelter, the whole world would be desolate place. Krishna को शरणागति बिना एटा rejected place. News of the Swami's move to the Bowery loft spread. mostly by word of mouth or at the Paradox restaurant. तो Paradox restaurant रे समस्त पूरा जानी गली एक कथा कथारे क्या ना ये जो हार्वे कोहेन और बिल एप्स्टेन एमान सब बहुत इन्फ्लुएंशियल थे एमाने जाके Paradox restaurant रे बसिकी कथा कथारे समस्त को कहि देले कि स्वामी जेबे बावरी रे रहलेनी आसकी and people began to come by in the evening to chant with तब संध्या सब आसिले प्रभुपाद सहित chanting करे. The musical kirtans were especially popular on the Bauri since the Swami's new congregation consisted mostly of the local musicians and artists who responded more to the transcendental music than to the philosophy. Every morning, he would hold class on Srimad Bhagavatam, attended by David Allen. Morning, the Prabhupada class attend to roommate David Allen, a boy named Robert Nelson, and one more other boy, and occasionally Nelson भी आसे out of पिला भी आसे. Occasionally he would teach cooking to whoever was interested. He was usually available for personal talks with any inquiring visitors or with his new roommate. तो डेविड बाकी यदि कि पचारे प्रभुपाद को प्रश्न उत्तर मध्य भाग दियंती. तो एबली पैराडॉक्स रेस्टोरेंट बहुत लोग आसिया को लगे. Bhaktivedanta Swami held his evening meetings on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, just as he had uptown. Ebe downtown rochandi, uptown re jo durati rothile, ebe downtown pole aschandi. To jemti aguru madhya saptahu 3 din sandhyaru katha rothile, ebe katha rochandi 3 din. The loft was out for the way for most of his acquaintances, and it was on the Bauri. Cluster of sleeping derelicts regularly blocked the street level entrance. तो जो एंट्रेंस टा सबले रास्ता रे लोक गोडे सोई की रोथले and visitors would find as many as half a dozen bumps to step over before climbing the 4 flights of steps. तो stair studying जिबा आगुरु सबले visitor मानु को 5-6 टा लोक रास्ता रे. But it was something new. You could go and sit with a group of hip people and watch the Swami lead kirtan. बहुत सुंदर होतला. The room was dimly lit, and Bhaktivedanta Swami would burn incense. Many casual visitors came and went. Both लोगों ने आस्ते ले रखे. Bhaktivedanta Swami तो पार्टी में गए लोग. Almost all of Bhaktivedanta Swami's Bauri friends were musicians or friends of musicians. समस्त प्राय musicians थे. They were into music, drugs, women, and spiritual meditation. ये सब रे साने थे. Bhaktivedanta Swami's presentation of the Hare Krishna mantra was both musical and meditative. They were automatically interested. ସେମାନେ ଯେହେତु ଆଗରୁ musicians ଥିଲେ automatically interested ହେଇଗଲେ. ଯୋଉମାନେ ସବୁ ଆସିଥିଲେ ସେଇଠୁ ବାଉରୀ. For the Bauri crowd, sound was spirit and spirit was sound. ଏତେ ସେମାନେ music କୁ ଭଲ ପାଆନ୍ତି. The merging of music and meditation. But for Bhaktivedanta Swami, music without the name of God wasn't meditation, it was sense gratification. At most a kind of stylized impersonal meditation. But he was glad to see the musicians coming to play along in his kirtans. तो प्रभुपाद किंतु चाहूଥିଲେ कि ସେମାନେ ଆସନ୍ତୁ ଆଉ କୀର୍ତ୍ତନରେ ଭାଗ ନିଅନ୍ତୁ. To hear him and to chant responsibly. Responsible माने थरे आमे हरे कृष्ण मंत्र कहबा, लीडर कहबे, तापरे आमे समस्त कहबा. तो एटा responsible to and fro, back and forth. Some having stayed up all night playing somewhere on their instruments would come by in the morning and sing with Swami. He did not dissuade them from their focus on sound. Rather, he gave them sound. The Vedas, sound is said that to be the first element of material creation. Eta prathama. Sound ta prathama. The sound source is God, and the God is eternally a person. So Bhaktivedanta Swami's emphasis was on getting people to chant God's personal transcendental name. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Whether they took it to it as a jazz, folk music, rock, or Indian meditation made no difference, as long as they began to chant Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada wanted that somehow or other I should make them chant. Okay, Despite the bad neighborhood where Bhaktivedanta Swami lived and worked, he was rarely disturbed. एते खराब लोक माने थाइक मध्ये पाखरे केव डिस्टर्बेंस है Often you would find several Bauri monks asleep or unconscious at his door, and he would have to step over them. ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଡେଇଁକି ଯିବାକୁ ପଡେ ବହୁତ ଥର ପ୍ରପାଦ ଯେ ସେମାନେ ପିଆ ପି କରିକି ଶୋଇଥିବେ. Sometimes a drunk, simply out of his inability to maneuver, would bump into him, or a derelict would mutter something unintelligible and laugh at him. ଏଭଳି କେତେ ଜଣ କରୁଥିଲେ. The more sober ones would stand and gesture courteously, ushering the Swami into and out of his door. At 94, तो केते जण एभली भलसे जेस्चर करिवे ठिया ही पड़िवे रिस्पेक्ट देवे आ के जण से भली कहिवे रास्ता रे सोइथिवे के जण. So he would pass all among them and acknowledge their good manners as they cleared their path. Thank you, Kayu. Certainly, few of the Bauri men and others who saw him on his walks knew much about the small elderly Indian sadhu. So, निश्चय किसी जान नथले मने Prabhupada sir, who is dressed in saffron, carrying an umbrella and a brown grocery sack. Umbrella पिन्थिवे आउटे brown coat टे grocery sack गोटे अखाटे धरिकी पिन्थिवे. तो एभली सेमाने बाउरी रे समय काटी. ए बाउरी टा हमें देखिबाटी
I must know who that old man is, what he did, and why he was beaten up.
I can see you're a wise man. I also
Old man is.
know. What will you do?
এটা বাউরি বাউরি.
Excuse the mess. And I just finished moving.
ଏଠି ପ୍ରପାତ ରହୁଥିଲେ ବାଉରି. ଜାଗାଟା କେମିତି ଦେଖ.
So you'll have to excuse the mess. And I just finished moving, so I'm still living out of boxes.
Well, that's all right, man. I just wanted to get Swami settled before I left for California.
That's cool, man. So make yourself at home, Swami.
It's very kind of you to let me move in. Thank you.
My name is Michael Grant.
My name is Bhaktivedanta Swami.
May I ask you a question?
Sure. What is it?
When you see an old man getting beaten up, what will you do? Will you interfere or will you walk past?
I cannot answer that question unless I'm there. See, I must know who that old man is, what he did, and why he was beaten up.
I can see you're a wise man. I also like the way you sing. Actually, I have a tambura and I thought it'd be nice to play while you sing.
Oh, you have a tanpura?
Yes, I found it in the shop on 3rd Avenue.
Why don't you bring it with you when you come here?
All right, I will. I really enjoyed the music. It's fascinating how you keep time with your hand symbols.
They are kartals. Kartals. You see? You want to try? No, no, not like this. I'll show you. Try.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Could you explain more about the chant?
This is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. In this age known as Kali, only chanting of the Mahamantra can purify our hearts and make us spiritually advanced. In India, many devotees play this instrument while chanting this mantra. I understand that you are interested in music.
Well, I studied music for many years. I play piano.
Nice. So, why don't you come next Sunday? Also, bring your friends with their instruments. We can have a big kirtan.
Oh, that'd be great. I have quite a few friends who would be interested in coming.
So, I can expect you next Sunday.
You can count on it. I'll see you, Swami.
Hare Krishna, Mr. Michael. When a living
So Michael, in his interview, he was saying, I was so glad to see that Swami is calling me Mr. Michael. So what a gentleman he is.
entity turns away from God, he
Yeah,
falls into this
that's right.
miserable material existence. The only way out of this suffering condition is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Krishna.
But most people in today's world don't believe in God.
That is because they do not have any information about God. In some remote corners of the world, people may not know that a city called New York exists where there are buildings that are 100 stories high. But if somebody goes and tells them about this city, shows them the pictures of these buildings, then they may become aware of it. Similarly, people may not know about God. But if someone who knows about God tells them about Him, then they will become aware of Him and have faith in Him.
So that's why you're here, to teach us about God.
Yes, not that everyone understands. But if you listen submissively, then you will get to know about Him.
I want to know him, Swami.
Good. You have already taken the first step on the road to enlightenment.
Can I sit down here?
Yes, please do.
Thank you. Are you from India?
Yes. And you?
I'm an American citizen. My father immigrated from Turkey, and I was a little boy at that time. What's in the bag?
These are my chanting beads. I chant the name of the Lord with them.
Oh, like a rosary.
Yes, you can say that.
Are you Roman Catholic?
I am a devotee of the Lord. I have come here to preach how to love God.
Oh, when did you come?
A few months before,
And where did you stay?
not quite far from here, number 33 Riverside Drive.
Is that where your churches are?
Not really. I have many centers around this country and also in many cities around the world. I have many followers and many students.
But you say you just got here a couple months ago.
Yes, they are there, but they have not manifested as yet. Time is separating me from them.
Oh, I see.
ତାପରେ ପ୍ରଭୁପାଦ ବାଉରୀ ଏମିତି ରହିବେ ଆଉ କୀର୍ତ୍ତନ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ ହବ କ୍ଲାसेସ୍ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ ହବ ତାପରେ ଏଠି ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି sitting cross-legged his back to the self with its assortment of potted plants whitish chadar wrapped in white loose folds across his body. Bhaktivedanta Swami looked grave, almost sorrowful. The picture and an accompanying article appeared in a June issue of the Village Voice. Village Voice ta tankara area ro newspaper ta. Sethi gote article baharchi. Kon lekha heichi? The meeting of the mystical West and practical East comes alive in the curious contrast between A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami and his American disciples. The Swami, a cultivated man of 70 with a distinguished education, is here for a year to preach his gospel of peace, goodwill, nearness to God, and more practically to raise money for his American church. Like his teachings, Swami is sensible and direct. His main teaching is that mankind may come closer to God by reciting his holy name. भगवान को क्लोज ही पर हमें परिणाम जुट करके. Despite the fact that the Swami came to America to seek out the root of godless materialism, a disease, he said, that he has already enveloped India. He is a realistic man. If there is any place on earth with money to build a temple, it is here. The Swami wishes to found in America an international society for Krishna consciousness, which will be open for anyone, including. तो एभली प्रभुपाद चाहूले जे गोटे मंदिर तैयारी करिया को जोटी कि समस्त प्रकार लोक आसे. This article had been written by a reporter named Howard Smith. He had first heard of the Swami by a phone call from a contact who had told him of an interesting holy man who arrived from India, living in a loft in the Bowery. Go there anytime, Howard's contact had told him. He is always there. I think you'll find it fascinating. I believe he is about to start a major religious movement. Howard Smith कौन कोच है टाइम नेक्स्ट टाइम सुनिबा. तो मेनली हमें देखले जो गोटे इंटरव्यू से जो वीडियो रे थिला जे प्रभुपाद तम कोचन जे आई हैव सो मेनी टेंपल्स, वी आर ऑलरेडी प्रीचिंग एंड वी हैव सो मेनी सेंटर्स ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. So similarly माने एठो जणा पड़छि जे माने प्रभुपादर फेथ केते थिला, प्रभुपादर केते कन्विक्शन थिला जे एटा अछि, ओनली टाइम इज सेपरेटिंग. तो एभला प्रभुपाद कर होली नेम पर श्रद्धा और भरोसा. श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. और भक्तवृंद की जय. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
दंडवत प्रणाम जी.
दंडवत प्रणाम. दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी.
दंडवत प्रणाम.
हरे कृष्ण बहुत दंडवत प्रणाम.
हाँ दंडवत.
बहुत सुंदर थिला प्रभु जी. क्लास भी बहुत सुंदर थिला प्रभु जी. हरे कृष्ण.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी. प्रभुपाद लीला सब हमें रिसेंटली
भल लगला.
प्रभुपाद का बर्थ प्लेस आउ ये उल्टा टांगा तो उल्टा टांगा बहुत सुंदर भी है आउरी मैं आउथरे के गले उल्टा टांगा रे देखि परिया सब
प्रभु जी एबे जो जाइतिले सिटी जाइतिले बर्थ प्लेस को गलतरे
जाइथिलु
हां हां हमें तो सो जाइतिले तैयारी चलतिला
हां एबे
तैयारी कंस्ट्रक्शन चलता एबे पूरा सुंदर है थियो बड़ा नहीं थियो से जो घर पूरा कंस्ट्रक्शन में सेटा कंप्लीट है छी जो बक्तिसान सरस्वती ठाकुर जो दीक्षा देतिले सेटा हमें बहुत कष्ट चढ़ी चढ़ी जाइतिले ना
हां हां
चलता कंस्ट्रक्शन सेटा कंप्लीट है थियो इतरे
इच्छा नहीं भेटी थिले फर्स्ट टाइम
या उसे क्लास सुनतिले
हां भेटी थिले फर्स्ट टाइम
फर्स्ट टाइम भेटी थिले फर्स्ट टाइम 19 हां 1922 में से फर्स्ट भेटी थिले
ଆପଣ କିଛିଟା ଫଟୋ ଯଦି ହବ ମୁଁ ଦେଖେଇ ଦେବି ଫଟୋ ଗୁଡା ରଖିନି ମୁଁ କପି କରିନି ଏଠୁ ଯଦି ଆସି ଦେଖୁଛି ଯଦି ଆସିବ এটা তো ইসকন কলকাতার এটা ଅଛି এটা হলো উল্টা ডাঙা ভক্তি বিনোদ আশ্রম সে জায়গা না এটা ভক্সিদান সরস্বতী ঠাকুর রুম प्रभु जी हमको इंट्रोड्यूस करले ए स्टेयर्स दे कि प्रभुपाद उठी थिले ए स्टेयर्स एबे भी अछि आ से देखिबे आपण ताको प्लास्टर करा हैनी जेमि थिला सेम रखा हैछि ताको खाली प्रिजर्व करा हैछि विभिन्न मसला दे कि सब ताकि एटा ओरिजिनल फील हम पाइबा आ ओरिजिनल टच का पाइबा माने प्रभुपाद एई बाट दे जाइतला एई सीडी ऊपर खाली प्रभुपाद नै ऑक्सीडेंट सरस्वती ठाकुर समस्त डिसाइपल ए बाट दे जाइछन कारण ए घर भीतर प्रभुपाद ऑक्सीडेंट सरस्वती ठाकुर रहिछन्ती 12 वर्ष एटा ना रूम भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती तांको रूम टा एटा बेड पर से बसछ ए जोडे से माने सही उल्टा डांगारे गोटे झूलान बेदी करछन्ती राधा कृष्ण को झूलान करेबे सब जिंस रे गोटे माने फील पूरा देइछन्ती गोटे ट्रांसेंडेंटल सुंदर आ एई रास्ता देखि सब भक्तिदान सरस्वती ठाकुर शिष्य माने आसंती ए रोड देखि आसी के सीडी बाटे ऊपर भी जाते केते हमें माने इंपोर्टेंट प्लेस एटा एटा सब पेंटिंग गुडा थिला एडा सब गेस्ट हाउस रूम गुडा सन्यासीस माने असले रहि पाइबे ती तीन रूम एटा मजी बारे हम सब जॉब को 88 से जगह जो भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती क्लास दौले आ समस्ते शुणुले प्रभुपाद आसी पछपटे बसले अभय अभय प्रथम थर अभय आ सांग नरेन आसी बस जगह से सब बस जप कलु जप कर जप कर फोटोटा नहीं
प्रियंका माता जी पाखरे थाई पारे प्रभु जी
हां से थिबो ए पठै थिले भीतर नाही आगुर ঠিক আছে, এইটা আপনি দেখলেন মায়াপুর রোডে গ্লিমস। श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की
जय
हरे कृष्ण।
जय
धन्यवाद।
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे
धन्यवाद।